Hello guys, I'm back. I woke up really late today. I forgot to put an alarm and I didn't have battery on my phone, but we're here. There's nothing right now in the market which we're seeing, but so we're just gonna be patient and waiting. So yeah, we're just gonna be waiting.
It was about a year after I joined Warrior Trading. This is way back. My bread and butter strategy is these stocks that like something like LRHC. If it just kept going, right? Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I'm really good at trading those big moves, and I'll be completely honest with you. I am terrible at trading stuff like kind of like this, where it's like kind of just chopping around. I almost jumped in here, and I'm like, you know what? It's gonna pop up, put in this big candle, and then roll over. And for what, right? For what? For 200 bucks? To me, not saying that $200 isn't a good day or a lot of money. For me personally, it's just not worth jumping in, risking 400 to make 200, and then it rolls over. I get frustrated. I'm streaming live. I take a loss that's live, and then I'm even more frustrated, and then so it kind of snowballs. So my my go-to is always just those huge moves. I can get really dialed in very fast. So that what was that ticker yesterday? I don't even remember. I did pretty good. I made about 2,500 on it. Just trading 1,000 shares. Thank you, HCI. I was trading 1,000 shares at a time on this stock, and just because I was like, I'm traveling, don't be over aggressive. And the chart itself looks choppy. It does. I'll be honest with you, it looks choppy. But see how this candle is from 6 to almost to right up to about 10. That's what I'm looking for. 850s all the way up to 11. 10 all the way up to 14. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those extreme type of range moves, not just oh, it's got news, it's moving up, or oh, it's a flag, or oh, it's this, it's that, another thing. I'm really looking for rate of change, you know, those huge range type of plays, because within that range, yes, they're higher risk, but that reward is where it comes out. Especially for my small account, the reward is 1 point move, 2 points of move. So with 1,000 shares, I could easily get $1,000 green day easily. It's not bad. I don't mind this. I don't mind a small. This is nothing wrong with this. It looks like you really messed it up here on the ninth, and then you like slow down. It looks like you took Friday off. I get it. Excuse me. Um, yeah, you took the one loss, you dialed it back, and you're back in track. Try to see this 1600. Try to reduce it next time to maybe 600 is your max loss. I'm not saying you're not gonna have a max loss. I'm not saying you're not gonna blow through your max loss. I do it all the time. I'll be like, I'll be red maybe, $3 grand. I'm like, I'll just if I could just recover maybe half, I'll be happy. And I'll be down like 1,500 bucks, no big deal. And then I take a trade, I'm down 6 grand. I'm like, nailed it. And there I am sitting. I'm like, now I take the $3,000 loss. So I know that feeling of that desperation to get it back. But what I'm gonna say is, if you get smoked on that first trade, you have to understand that all right,
I'm just gonna wait right now.
time out,
Be patient.
time away. If I tell my son, he just turned 4, so he really likes his time away. 33, very nice, very nice. Down 33 bucks. This is great. This is good trading. This is good mindfulness. you're treading water. I don't care if you're red or green. It's more about staying consistent. Very nice job. Another one. Not bad, right? Small, 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 small. I like this. Aim small, miss small. Very nice job. So I see PBM kind of popping up. A couple minutes to 8 a.m. We usually get something at 8, so we'll see. I'm not gonna really. I'm not gonna really be hyper focused on trying to trade something. Let's see what you got. It's not bad. I like this too. Nice and small. Just keep it. Yeah. There's no reason. A lot of people come in. They're like, they risk it all, and they don't possess the skill to risk it all. That's the problem that most traders have. And they kind of come in with this, I'm going to make $1 million. They lose, their hard-earned money when they just all they had to do was be patient. Nice percentage. I see your percentage. It's nice too. Boom. This is great. Small loss. Just be careful with those shorts on some of these Chinese stocks. That's all. So 1 minute till 8 a.m. Still feel like I'm sleeping today. Why? No, I don't. I don't have shorting restricted. Just in case. So last one. Nice balance. Yeah, this is great. Try to reduce that one red day. It looks like you're right on with your trades, just a little bit higher, as they tend to be on your red days. So these arrows are for the MACD that you can see here. There's a MACD cross. I do like trading the open MACD on the first move. That's a big one. So 8 a.m. Let's see what we got.
Let's see, we have
I
some
see
news.
PBM. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about it. I don't see news or anything. It's a bit of a bounce play. These backside moves. I don't know. They kind of get shorted when they pop up.
PBM. Let's see it.
You can see it right here.
High right there. We have.
Yeah, I could. Charlie,
a
that's a
window.
good idea. I might think about doing that. That class is pretty old. I might think about doing that.
Let's see, we got some news. I don't really see any news, to be honest.
Hmm. Let's get a range on this. I'm not gonna take this much. You can see these candles are like 3 to 4 to 6 to 9. That's some good stuff. This stock is future. I don't really like it yet.
Sorry, I was fixing something. Let's wait right
Don't
now.
chase them. It's just so 370 to 320.
He left some news.
Not much news today. Unfortunately, it's just, typical Friday. No big deal. I'll be happy, I don't care if I don't take a trade. I'll be holding on to yesterday's profit, which is fine by me. This maybe starts to find a
US
trend.
Biotechnology
News is
Live.
kind of
Low
strange. It's
flow,
kind of
nice
weak.
volume. Um,
I believe, was this a different ticker?
hard to borrow. Nice.
This three, right around this $4. This $4 404 candle is pretty hefty, so it needs like a pullback, a curl, continuation, volume. It needs it all. I mean, could I have taken 3 to 330, 340, 360? I could have, but I think, like I said, the risk is just a little too high for me.
This could be a nice.
So there's the 4 break. Now we gotta see
Nice.
if this 4 holds.
Um, stock. I'm just waiting.
Like this 450, 6, 460.
I'm just waiting for a good entry. Pixel level 2.
Big seller coming in. Just be careful of these big wicks. Today's been showing
Pixel
the
level
big
2.
wick energy, so just be mindful.
Now rejection candle.
Just like that. That's why I don't
From
jump in.
466 to 380 is crazy. I don't like how it looks. Volume profile in the 1 minute.
So we gotta get back over that 4. 4 needs to hold. See this. It's moving up. Wow. top now.
I'm not trading this. Two top tails and big stairs on the level too. I'll be back.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it made a nice move. The news is, I don't know, kind of weird. I think what's happening is there's just nothing else to trade. So, everyone's just kind of jumping on because they're trying to scratch that itch to get something done for the day. And I don't mind, right? I don't mind that. I'll just, I just have to wait for it to fit my profile a little bit better. No, I'm in Florida right now. Yeah, I mean it's holding. We could get a little pop and curl. I worry that we're gonna get another wick right here. So what I'm actively waiting for is I think the news is just silliness. So I really don't pay attention to actual news. So what I do is I sit here and I wait for the price action to tell me, where it's headed. Right? I'm seeing that MX guy trying to rain on a parade like always, but I don't really pay attention to that because if it goes up, it's strong. So I just like to sit and wait because this is showing me the range that I like, 4 to 470, right? This is 70 cents. A couple thousand shares, 1,500 bucks, 1,400 bucks. That's what I like to see. But I don't try to only predict that's what's going to happen. I want to see where my downside risk is as well. So now that this is starting to get a little bit of a curl, right? Oh, wait. I want to kind of see where it's going to push up. I want to see if it starts to break out, what it does up by these wicks. We are breaking out of that 404 area, right? Which is nice to see. We can look at the 5 minute kind of reversed. So I'll watch. 420, 417. I worry that the news isn't strong enough to bring in those buyers. So we're getting that, like I said, that curl into a potential wick again. I want to see how bad it drops. Man, my kids got wiped me out. So right there, so this is where a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people go wrong. They kind of buy that curl thinking, oh, this is it. Jump in at 420, and now we're at 370. So what I like to do is, I like to let it drop. Let it be trash, right? I want to see how trashy it is. And then if it's not, I'm like, oh, all right, you're not bad. So after the drop, where does it find support? Where does it hold up? What does it do, right? I'm not gonna miss. I'm never gonna miss this. I'm never missing every move. I'm never FOMOing into every little pop, because what that does is it just gives you such a sense of failure because you're like jumping in, you're getting wins, and then you jump in again, and then you fail. So there's a nice kind of dip here. Mind you, it's only 45%, so it's kind of under my usual go-to. I do like it maybe over, what's the height of this candle? 402 is not bad. Let's see what it does. So I'm going to take a starter here because we're curling up to the highs. Down a little bit red on this trade. We'll see what it does.
420 I'm adding. There's like a pivot right there.
I think we get a continued push. So I might add over 420 for that break.
Add it. Just holding right here.
I'm in a little high, which is fine. I'm just going to keep my stops pretty tight and close.
It's holding right here. It's like stelling out.
So we're going to print this next candle. I want to see what it does. If it starts to sink, I'll just bail out. But if it pushes, yeah, I won't like it. I'm going to stop out there. A small loss, which is not bad.
That was holding right here.
I would consider that, I would consider that setup B, C quality, just because the stock keeps rejecting. But keep an eye on it.
Stopped out. $2 lost. Well, there's a lot of sellers right here. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, I do like the higher lows, higher low, higher low. So now it comes right back up.
Let's see if it breaks. It has a lot of hidden sellers and sellers. It's like
So this would be this is 3 attempts to this 420 level.
another big seller right there.
So the break.
Another big seller.
Right,
Let's see if it breaks.
So I want to see it push through 420.
Another big seller right there. Big seller right here. Right, this one.
Should push up.
And it's not letting you go.
It's gonna piss me off. It's holding again, a higher low. So I'm not stopping out because we have that higher low. We should get a nice snap on
It looks like it's wanna breaks. The big seller doesn't move. That's so weird. People are not like buying them, or there's a bigger hidden seller.
So we'll break out or bail out. So I'm gonna close that for just a tiny another $100 loss or so. So is that one, twice? So now I'm kind of, is it gonna work out? Is it just gonna fade on me? No, I don't really, I don't really use like a support line. I'm kind of just trying to figure out the price action on what would be like a little bit of an ascending wedge, I would say. See how we kind of have this flat top with like this ascending trend line that you can kind of see, excuse me, kind of just grinding up. And I'm not gonna, on stocks like this, especially now I'm already down 600 bucks. I'm not gonna push it. This is kind of like, am I trading it to get even? An issue too is if I jump in this dip, does it roll over? So I don't really like to buy these, even though it's the pattern. And like right there, I'd be like, all right, well I'm buying I'm not doing it, but it's like, well, saying I'm gonna buy here, and then it just sinks and rolls over on me.
I'm just waiting right now.
Nice low flow, but it's just, yeah, I think it's just lack of anything good today. That's all. Yeah, the news isn't strong enough. What it tends to do is the price action tends to override news when traders start jumping in, shorts are getting trapped, and then it's just like, well, why is this up? Well, then it just becomes this self-fulfilling. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, so my eyes when I'm trading, I'm like hyper focused on level two. Right? I want to see where the buyers and sellers are. I want to see what it does around certain price points. So you could see this trade I held a little bit longer because I had smaller size. I'm like, well, small size, so I'm going to keep it. I can give it a little bit more range if it wants to dip and then run. This one I had double size, so this was 1,000. This was 2,000. Sorry, this was 4,000 shares, and I just kept it very tight. Right, breakout or barrel out. That's all I need to do. And you could see just with that was slippage. That cost me 600 bucks. Is that the end of the world? No, but it can become very bad if I let it. If I just keep going. If I get relentless, right? That's where people start to make these mistakes. Right? Is a $600 red day gonna kill me? No. I had $2,600 yesterday, so I would say I'm chipping into my yesterday's profits, and that's okay, right? I'm trading on house money or whatever they say. It's just I don't want to be down 2,600 bucks, right? I don't want to give back all of yesterday. Yeah, I experience the same for sure. I definitely get the same frustration. Um, it's how we act or don't act on those feelings, really. So this is kind of done for me. But the main reason I like this, it wasn't the news, it was the low float with the volume and the fact that it already made a move from 270 to 470, right? So it was showing me that range. That's why I liked it. But you could see just with that, I could be wrong. I didn't take this first, I didn't take the first push, so I'm like, well, let me wait for the curl. I was expecting, for this bottoming kind of candle to rally up, break 420s, and then push maybe up to highs and so on. That's what I'm looking for. So my stop is going to be, pretty tight from 4. It's like my 412 entry to 402. So about a 10 cent, about a 10-15 cent stop minus slippage for a potential 70-cent winner. That's what I'm looking for. And if I can't recover my $593 loss, it's no big deal today. No big deal. No, only when Ross is out, I'll go live. That's about it. Just to kind of help you guys out, help him out. So this volume here, this is buying a lot of traders, what they think is a red candle is all selling volume, when it's not true. There's also buying in those candles as well. So what this does down here is it shows me the the ratio of buying versus selling in one candle. So you could see this candle, even though it closed red, it was about half and half, right? So how does it, the, the question goes, how is that candle, close half and half, half red, half green? Well, there's more, more buying versus selling, more selling versus buying, and that's what's creating that price imbalance. And people holding in different places is also what creates that. So there's going to be that indifference of um, volume and price. Yeah, so even if it was, so let's just say this was 250,000, and half of that was buying, half of that was selling. So right there, so it shows us. See how it says percentage? So 50%. This is an exact 50% candle right here. 251,000 shares up. Where is it? And well, down volume was 198,000. So you can see within that candle how close it was, but it closed green, right? So that's where you can see that tug of war happening.
I'm just waiting right now. Let's see if he gets above BWAP. 390. I wanna be adding. No, my ID is negative, so no.
So yeah, just seeing a small red day. It'll probably be it for me. I'll wait till 8:30 to see what we got. Kind of forcing. I would say it was a small forced trade, but it's no big deal. Yeah. Yes, I am in a closet. You can't tell. But what most of you don't know is by design. I'm staring right at my wife's side. Good.
I'm trying to change of broker. So I do real money now, but I don't know if it's a good idea. I'm just looking prices.
Yeah. The house has all these bedrooms, but I chose the closet honestly because it doesn't take, it was a huge closet, but it doesn't take up much space. And it's a way, like, if I talk close to my kids' bedrooms in the morning, then we wake up. So it's like the farthest point. It's big. Yeah, it's not like a normal closet. It's big. It's like the size of a bedroom. Yeah, kinda, Eric. Kinda. So we have a bit of a curl here. I don't know. If I jump in at 4, take another loss.
Para que te vaya bien.
This desk is getting flipped, dog thrown. Right? We don't want to get to that point. The high-low, yeah, the high-low hit list. You don't wanna use it as trades. That's for sure. I agree. I agree. Let's wait till it's up here a little bit.
I was gonna add right there, but I don't know. I was not sure about it.
MACD's still red. We're right into 8:30. Not a fan.
Big seller again.
Hmm. I see some of these moving up. To be honest with you, it's just so much easier if it's like all the way up here to trade. Even if I lose out on money. So 8:30 here. Let's see what we got. Oh, JTAI has an S4. It's like they got. No. Yeah, not a fan. I don't know. It's just so there's JTAI news. Nothing crazy today. And now that 8:30 has come and gone, the only thing up right now is LABT. So those that missed any type of like move, they say, well, pirate fingers come out. My lowest, I don't really have a low price threshold. Like if we are getting those penny moves, I will trade them, but they're just not the best for me. So you could see the seller was getting taken out there. I don't know if that was Kristen buying. We'll see.
Oh my god,
There's
I
the
lost the
pearl.
entry.
I'm gonna hold.
Fuck. Looks like a
And
rejection candle topping
so
tail.
you get like that 40. That's what I'm talking about. You get that nice pop from 420 to 440, and then it rolls over. It's like, come on. So
Yeah, I'm not trying this one.
it's hard to trade. That stuff's hard to trade, at least for me, right? You jump in, it takes a loss, and then it rolls over. Yeah, that's a good comment. You do better on cold days, and the reason is because there's less action, and usually what that means is there's more focus. So there's JTAI
TA.
popping up.
Software technology.
Oh, that news.
IA, okay. Reservoir split. Okay. This one is good.
Let's see. Merger agreement.
IA, nice.
Merger and reorganization May 6th between Fly Exclusive and ATAI.
Prepare my order 9. 10 shares.
Let's see.
Um,
Sometimes these merger agreements can be
Mira,
strong.
mami.
So volume's low, so be very careful. 50,000 shares of volume.
Okay.
What goes up, 50,000 shares can come down in 50,000 shares.
That's crazy, wow. 821 to
No, no, no.
721
See
minutes.
that? I'm jumping at 820.
It's crazy.
750. Right? And I could easily be emotionally damaged. Like, I gotta get that $600 back, right? And it just triggers terrible trades. So JTAI pop and fade. We'll see if this one wants to hold up now. So now, because it's 8:30, we're gonna have that, juggling for top position type of trend, right? Well, JTA is not holding up. We have no good news, so let's focus on the one that's leading. So then we kind of head over to this stock. I really don't like these rejections, so I'm pretty gun shy on it, to be honest. Once two small losses. And let's be mindful that it's like 85 degrees outside right now, so I don't want to be glued to my computer all day. So it's popping up a little bit. We'll keep an eye. 440. So we have this kind of 440. It could push to like 470. We'll see.
Because it has big
Dips
sellers.
are strong. Dips are strong. So 420. See, 435 to 415. It sinks pretty quick. 14 million shares of volume. It's got the right volume. Nothing else is moving. If I go for it, it's going to be B quality. I'll consider it. So if I take a loss, another loss, it'll be in the name of education, right? So I'm right now, I'm doing everything I can not to jump in right here because the pattern looks right. That's it. The pattern looks right, but the stock has not been acting that way.
Look again, no rejection. I don't know
See
where to
that?
trade this
The
one.
pattern looks right, but it fakes you out. And this is what separates profitable traders from non-profitable traders. They jump in the right pattern at the wrong time.
Brokers.
They don't read what's happening on the stock. So Brian's up 3,000. You know, that's nice. Yeah, and that's so Brian's up 3,000 bucks, and he said he struggles to. You still struggle to stop. I do the same thing, because it's a big part of trading is all emotion. You know, anyone. My son came in here and he's like, oh, and he asked like this really intricate question. He's much smarter than I am. Just a simpleton. But he's like, what's causing it to go up and down? I'm like, holy cow, buddy! Like, how do you even know that's what like we're looking at? And I'm like, well, and I explained to him, and he has no idea. It just kind of went in one ear out the other. But it just goes to show you that just looking at a chart, the human brain can tell what it's doing. It's what's causing it to go up or down. So it's not that trading is hard, it's emotion is hard. Emotion's very hard. You know, so we have to understand how to override analytical pattern with our emotion. And, you know, that's why a lot of times people say, you know, men are better. They're not, but it's male dominated, I guess you could say. And it's because men are they'll just, oh, let's jump in, whatever. Like, they have no emotion on it. You know, Lamborghini or McDonald's, baby. Like, that's what we're going for. Where women, they're very more self-centered, controlled, non-emotional, but they're very analytical on this stuff. So that's what separates, you know, it's just human emotion. And I think if men and women could combine, um, you know, both of that thinking together, I've seen a lot of female traders have like a really good edge, but they lack that aggressiveness of a male does. So whereas a male trader might take this huge loss, but a female trader might, you know, take smaller losses. They might not. They also might not, you know, take these huge wins, but they're more dialed in. No, yeah, it's. I think Gary. I think it's true. I think, you know, I think females have less emotion in trading. Yes, I think so. I've seen it. I've seen, you know, just being an educator for many years, and I'm not saying my way is the only way, and I might ruffle feathers by saying this, but you know, it's just how it is. Men are very aggressive traders. They're very loose-handed when it comes to hitting, smashing buy keys, where women are very analytical, right? They're very dialed in. They're very risk adverse, but they're not looking for huge rewards. So it goes to tell you though, who's better? There is no better. It's just different trading. It's not one's better than the other. And I think that's what a lot of people get a misconception of, like, oh, men are better traders. Well, it's 90%.
Sorry, I'm trying
men
to
are
see which
traders,
broker
so
is best for
it's going
me.
to look like there's more men that are better, when it's not true. Females aren't out there looking for attention on their trades, and like men are, oh, look at my Lamborghini, look at this, look at that. Yeah, Sarah. So you can actually download this layout if you want. I have it available to you guys, and it will work on. It works for any broker. Yeah, my wife's standing right here. She's like, say the right words, boy. So you can download this file, load it on DOS with Schwab. You can use it with I don't know Guardian, Centerpoint. You could use it with anyone.
Let me see. Ocean
So let's
One.
see. I think they might have the link. There it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me see. Um,
So slow day to very slow day today. So this stock, so LAPT keeps kind of curling. So if you notice, it curls up, finds its resistance, curls up, finds resistance, fades, curls up, finds resistance, fades. It's just, it's not for me. So yeah, no, for brokers, to be honest, I go with whoever gives me the best deal, the best trades, best
yeah, I
everything.
think the
I'm
best thing
not
I can
really
do is
fixated on one
Ocean One,
broker. We'll find it. We'll see. I
because
think
of the
there's gonna be a lot
cost
of new
and it's
brokers
fast
and new
enough.
deals coming out, so I want to see who's most
But I
competitive.
think I have to wait a little bit more. I have to have at least 1 month
So
in green.
MACD's just about to, it's trying to curl. It's a little weak. I don't know, not my favorite. Could it get me back to break even if I take a trade? It could. But I don't want to aim for that. I want to aim for a good trade only. So we're coming right up to this resistance line, right into 440s.
She's gonna hold.
It is SSR, so we could see something happen, but watch the pop and then watch the fade. Just be
Gracias,
very
mini
careful.
Pequita. Ay, gracias, mini Pequita. Gracias, mini Pequita. Mini Pequita, ¿qué
All
estás
green on the
haciendo?
5-minute makes it interesting, right?
Ah, rico. Gracias.
So pop rejection. There's the fade again. So it just goes to show you if I jumped in at 440,
I don't know where it
I would be
rejects. It's like
instantly
always
green
rejecting.
and then instantly red. So it's good trades are usually a trend, right? I want to see a trend. I want to see it keep going. I want to see it continue. I don't want to, because what happens is if I keep jumping in these, in, out, I'm going to catch a green trade. I'm going to catch a red trade. I'm going to catch a green trade. And I'm going to be right back to where I started and just more frustrated. Yeah, I think so, Dennis. I think it's just the volume today. We're not seeing. Remember that what we were just talking about, the hot and the cold. Like, all right, well, it's a hot market. We can be a little bit more whimsical. It's just we're not feeling that way today. You could just feel it in the market, and it kind of runs on a trend. I remember someone sent me this article on Spotify playlists and what the trending music is with the overall market. And when the market's doing good, the music's better. When the market's doing bad, the music's worse. But which one came first? Is it the market or is it the music? Right? Is the world on a vibe? So it's very interesting. Some days you sit down, you're like, oh, I'm feeling it, and like everything just feels flow state, right? It's not coincidence. Here's a freaking mess. Yeah, I still got sleep lines on my face, man. You guys gotta tell me this stuff. Yeah, Brian. Your CPU fan starts. Mine does that too. It's funny you say that because like when I'm like really like aggressively trading, I hear my fan whoosh, and I'm like, all right, well, like holy cow, everything's hot, running hot today. So range, yeah. So what is range, DJ? What is it exactly about? So this is range. So I see how this stock moves from 260s, 270s, all the way up to 460s. That's range. So we're looking for range on stocks that are just grinding. Like if we kind of hyper focus in this looks like it doesn't have the range anymore, right? The range kind of diminished. So we look to trade active trade stocks with a large range. Or a lot of times people call it like the ATR. They're looking for the average true range on a specific stock on could be on a daily, could be on the 1 minute, could be whatever. But it's looking for their range is what we're really most interested in. So we see the float, we see the news, we see all that stuff. That's one thing. Now, separate from that is the stock going to act as it should based on the news flow and volume, right? What should it be doing? Well, it should be giving us big range. And when they don't, then it's kind of like an indicator to maybe back off or hold off until it starts to show that range. So what I actually look for is I don't really look when I sit down. I don't really look for oh, what's got the best news? What's got the lowest flow? What's got, you know, breaking news, wherever it is. I look for a stock that's already gapping, and then I look at the range. Right? Even if it says it's a 10 million share flow, if it's showing huge range, then I'm more interested, right? Because it's already showing me what I want to do. It's showing me what I want to capitalize on versus seeing a stock like JTAI pop up with a tiny float and you're like, oh, this is the right one. It's got the news, it's got the right float, but it doesn't have the range or the volume, right? No one's interested. So you jump in this low volume stock and it pulls back a point and you're just like, well, what the heck? Like, where were you guys on now? I thought we were thought we were all on the same page here. And you take a huge loss and you're like, oh, this sucks. So really, I'm looking for the volume with range, and then I overlap, flow, news, what's causing it, and stuff like that. So I kind of separate the two, and that kind of gives me my answer. Yeah. So what I would say is for advice for beginners, low accuracy, negative P&L, and emotions, very common. Hold on. Sound like my house. Um, that's just Buddy doesn't know. Buddy doesn't know we got attack dogs here. Watch out, pal. I'm not gonna wrong. Um, so it's a Chihuahua. Chihuahua. Pretty. So anyway, so what I would do is when if you're a beginner and you're looking kind of at that, you're emotional, you're experiencing all the things that a beginner is going to experience, right? And it's not that those feelings go away because they don't. You just get better at managing them. It doesn't get easier. You just get better. So you have to understand that. A lot of people they think that once I'm profitable, that feeling's gonna go away. Once I'm making money, that feeling's gonna go away, and it doesn't. You just get better at not listening to it. Um, right? If I failed for 6 months straight, am I gonna be done trading? No, I'm just gonna. What am I gonna do? I can't do anything else. I barely made it through college, right? I have an associate's degree. Um, but it's not that I was bad. I just didn't like it, right? So it doesn't mean that you're dumb or anything like that. It just means that you gotta get more in tune with yourself and really condition, right? How many of you guys, do like a hard condition training, maybe lifting or something like that? It's no different. It's no different than sticking to a diet. It's no different than not saying swear words around your kids. It's no different than anything else. It's just conditioning. A lot of times, what people do is they take restraint from other aspects in trade in their life, and then they don't apply it to trading because it feels like they can kind of let loose a little bit, and that can be a very big problem. So if you're having terrible accuracy, you're probably buying highs, and all that is, it's emotional buying. So Kyle, is it Kyle? Yeah. So Kyle, if you're buying like these tops, it's emotional buying. That's all it is. You're like, oh, it has popped up. Now I must act. So that's a big emotional trigger. It has already. You have to tell yourself it has already popped up. Right. You're not buying the trigger. The stock is actually triggering you. So you have to be very careful. You could see how many times this thing has popped up through highs, but I have not traded it because I know that more times than not, it's going to pop through highs and give me a wick.
I'm just waiting right now.
Yeah, so Kyle, that's exactly it. You just said it. The bull flag seems to be a zero accuracy pattern. Just because it's a bull flag doesn't mean it will work out, right? We're just discussing that. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Good morning. Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I think he's not feeling good today. We gotta give the guy a day off. We should all pitch in and like send him to a tropical island or something with no internet. It would be great. So there's Q breaking out. I'm not gonna trade this stuff. I probably won't take any more trades. I'll probably just lock in the small red day. It's disappointing, but it's so small that it doesn't really matter. I try to keep my max loss right around where I'm at, maybe $1,000. So let's see. We'll go over here. So if you want to see the larger buyers and sellers, go to level 2 config, and then you can scroll down, go all the way down, and then right where it says quote size highlight, I have a 10,000 share highlight in pink, hot pink, and with a black background. And you'll see MEMX like that. TMC is a metals company, easy to borrow, no interest. I'll stick around till 9. Maybe we'll get a bit of a unicorn, but I don't think so. It's Friday. So DOS is the platform. They plug into the brokers, right? So this is just the software that plugs into the broker. Market viewers on the left, this is NASDAQ top gainers. This is NYSE top gainers, and this is just a small watch list. CDV. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this in place of Ross. You know, I never like to see him out. I like us all, you know, we're all grouped together, trading and stuff. It's fun, but he needed a little break. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. My name is Jess. I've been doing this for some time now with Warrior Trading. Most of you know me. For those of you that are new, welcome. There's a lot to learn. A lot to learn.
Guys, I'm back.
I think some of you, I think, yeah.
What do you guys think for my glasses? Huh?
I believe I met you in Miami when we went a while back, correct? We got the little palm tree.
2,
Yeah.
1.
So I've been pressuring him for another Miami meetup. Maybe we will one of these times. That was fun. That was actually where I met most of you guys and Ross and the whole team. Really nice to get together. It was a big seminar.
Okay, 9 a.m. Let's see what we got.
So watching 9 a.m. I feel like I can't wake up today. I'm a little tired. So there's the rollover. Now, like, could I locate? I could locate shares. Like, if I'm not going to LABT, we can see how much they are. Shares, we'll say 4,000 shares. Just for giggles. On Velo 1 is 22 cents a share, so it's pretty. It's heftier. It's a hefty 55 cents. So it's pretty hefty in cost right now. So I wouldn't. That's why I don't locate shares to short. It's just, 22 cents. I'd have to make back half, or I'd give half. So I'd need a pretty big move.
Q is really expensive.
DGNX, not really my favorite. Popping up. Q
It's
popping up as
XYY.
well. So DGNX has a 1056 share consideration price and $1.5 billion acquisition. So consideration, come on now. No one's paying $10.50 a share for your crappy company, buddy. Come on.
Wow, look at this. From 2 to 220, 230 to 190. That's crazy. Bueno,
Bro,
no,
Ryan
so
at 230, man. He's like, I thought we were going to 10, baby. He's at his desk. He's like blowing up the candle, trying to get that thing to go back up. LABT kind of curling up just a little bit.
I don't think there's gonna be anything.
There's nothing for me. Keep moving higher. I could trade this. I just don't want to. I'm not feeling it. As much as I want to, right? As much as I want to. It's showing the range. It's just. It's not. $30 million investment. Thank you. Thank you. No, this is a house. It's not a hotel or anything like that. It's not a bad trade down at 28. Did you buy that curl? It's not bad. I'm waiting. So right now, what I do is I wait for like lack of news for potentially one to kind of show itself. Excuse me. So something like this, or I don't even know. Oh, let's see. So they have this is a reverse split effective now, but they don't have breaking news. They had financials yesterday. So what I do is I look at the range, right? So I'm looking at the range. Where's the range? Well, it could go to, it's got some room. It's just, there's no substantial news, so I don't, I don't really trust it. In a hot market, I would slam one of these things. Load up. But it's just the risk is just too high right now, so we have to know when to sit. The big days will be here. Just be mindful of that. They will show up. They will show up right at your feet. So just be mindful of that. We don't have to be out searching for the next big one, the next, oh, this thing's going to be the next Tesla. No, that's once in a lifetime stuff. The big moving stocks, the good traders, the good trenders, they'll show up right at our feet if we just sit and wait. What people do is they burn themselves out trading nonsense, right? I could have burnt myself out trading this thing. I took two little scalps, small loss, done. They burn themselves out trading this stuff, and then when that stock does come along that makes a huge move, they can't trade it, either because they're mentally burnt out, their account is just completely smoked from over trading, or they just don't believe in themselves to even trade it, and then they miss that whole move. So, as always, just like our classes, I appreciate each and every one of you for joining my live stream today in place of Ross. I appreciate you guys welcoming me and doing this. So John's going to be on, I believe, at 9:30. You better listen to John because he's given me a lot of education over my years, and it's been extremely helpful. So that's probably going to be it for me today. I'm not going to try and recover or anything like that. Like I said, it's like 85 degrees outside, so I'm going to go enjoy the day. And I will catch you all on Monday. Thanks, guys. Remember, don't overtrade. Don't overtrade.
Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it out today. Um, we just took one trade. I'm not gonna do a recap. Because it was a really small trade and there's nothing really interesting. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna do a recap. Oh wait. So yeah, I'm just gonna. What happened? Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna do a recap. I'm just gonna put it right here, and that's it. It was not a really interesting trade, and like there was nothing moving today at all. So yeah, I'm not gonna do it. But thank you guys for watching. Um, and see you guys later.